Well, g'day. Now I want to talk to you about the team. Recruiting a team is what we're going to look at, who to put in the team, how you have the recruitment conversation, and what next. So first of all, recruiting the team. Who should you choose for this team? Well, the one big qualifier is that they're not too weird. Okay, a little bit weird's okay, not too weird. These are the sort of people you want with good EQ, can have a good conversation with people, the sort of person you have on the welcome, front door of church or whatever. So that's the big qualifying thing, as well as they're a mature Christian. They've been a Christian for over a year. They know what they believe. They love Jesus. Those things, essential character things, of course. Now, the other demographics are less as important. The big one is that they come from all the different congregations of your church. So if you're a church family, you've got 3 different congregations. Make sure there's people from each congregation in this team, and even spread if possible. If you've only got one congregation, whatever, just get them all from there. I think a minimum, depending on the number of people who go to your church, and how many people you expect to be at this course. But I think you really want a minimum of 5 people in this team, no smaller than 5, no matter where you're putting this on. And if possible, and if you think you're going to have, let's say 10 non-Christians, try and get 10 people in the team. If you're going to get more than that, try and get more than that. You really want to have more Christians than Christians in the room when you're running this course, if possible. And we'll talk about why a little bit later. But nonetheless, so you're going for those things. You want to get a good age range, so young adult, middle age, older, male and female, good spread. Race does not matter at all. The only people sensitive about race are sensitive white people who think other people are sensitive about it, and they're not. So just don't worry about it, okay? Just get your people there who are nice, normal, friendly, and the age demographic and male or female thing, that plays a part as well. That can be helpful. How do you have the recruitment conversation? Well, I get the list of people. I make sure with the other people at church, hey, can I recruit someone for this? It's not continuous ministry. It's 5 weeks a year, or if they do it twice or 3 times, a bit more than that, but generally it's okay. So what I'll do is I'll try and find them at church and say, hey, can I give you a call this week about the upcoming Discover course or whatever course? Or I'll text them, hi, it's Dave from church. Can I call you to chat for 20 minutes about the upcoming course? Now, if the answer is no, no problem. But if they've said yes, if it's no, I'll say, well, could I chat to you in 6 months' time? And I'll put them to there. But if it's yes, I'll then begin the conversation by just asking them, have they been involved in evangelistic courses before, whether they have or not. I'll explain to them what the Discover course or whatever course you're running is all about. And this is my moment of envisioning them the gospel eternal realities of what we're doing. That what we're doing here is the most important thing, proclaiming the gospel, seeing non-Christians become Christians. It's the best thing. And then I will recruit them to the team, the role within the team that I'm trying to recruit them for. Now, I'll push the catering and the setup and pack up to the side for now and just talk about the Connect team. I'll just talk about the Connect team and the table leader team, from which the MCs come as well. So the MCs come from that team. So I'll talk to them about the essential nature of conversation and relationship in evangelism, that having people on the team who can talk to people is so important, and that gospel opportunities and chatting with people. And then I'll ask them whether they'll be interested in being involved. Now, there'll be really 3 responses. Regardless of the response, the next step is kind of the same. But if they say no, if they say, oh, I'm not sure, or if they say yes, I will always say, awesome. Well, thanks for listening to me talk about it. Can I send you a document which outlines a little bit more detail about the course? Particularly for the no's and the not quite sure's, that's really important. So I send them a document I've done up which outlines a bit more detail, just repeats what I've said, but in nicer words. So I'll always say yes to that. And then I'll invite them, the no and the not yet, and the yes, to the training. Now, if you remember, the training is the week before the course actually happens. I'll do that because it's a bit of a try before you buy. And I know that if they come to the training, 99% of the time, they'll join the team because it's so exciting to think about non-Christians coming the next week. And the training's great. So if you make the training great, they'll get pumped for it. So I'll invite them to that. If the answer's still no, that's fine. I'll say, well, can I call you in 6 months and ask, or whatever, put them to the side. However, if the answer is yes, not sure, maybe, I send them the document, I invite them to the training, and then when they come to the training, I'll speak to them then, particularly if they're not quite sure yet whether they want to come the next week to be part of the team. Now, if the answer is yes, at that point I'll do all those things. I'll send them the document, I'll invite them to the training. I'll also say, well, can I put you on the team WhatsApp? Now, you might not use WhatsApp, whatever, email chain, Facebook Messenger, carrier pigeon, doesn't matter. But I'll just say, that's how we can communicate together to let you know about things coming up and going on. And 99% of the time they say yes, and so that's great. Then they're on the team list. I've got that over there. The week before training, I'll remind them, hey, make sure you come to training next week, that kind of thing. Now, that's for the table leader team, the connection team, really, really critical. For the catering team and the setup pack-up team, it's identical, except when I describe the role, I obviously just talk about how essential it is that there's a nice, warm, hospitable environment with good food and setup, and I'll recruit them in that way. They generally don't tend to have WhatsApps and so on, but I'll also send them a document about what the course is about, and these people also come to training because I want them to see the bigger picture of God's mission at work in all this training that we get to do there. So it's very important, in essence, that I always have a next step, that I know what I'm recruiting people into, and that I know what I'm going to do when they say yes or no or whatever. So just to recap, we looked at who to recruit, normal people, not too weird, male, female, young, oldish, whatever. Secondly, how I recruit them, a phone call, hey, explain what's going to happen. What I do next is send them a document, invite them to join the WhatsApp, invite them to training. And the final thing to let you know about is I want to pray with them. I want to pray with them on the phone, and I want to invite them to start praying for the course. Not because I want to manipulate them, but because I want them to pray, because we desperately need their prayer. Next time, we're going to chat about what to do at the team training when that time arrives. Catch you then.